to discuss about a very important topic in your transportation lesson, that is blood vessel. In our body, to transport the blood, we have three varieties of blood vessels, namely arteries, veins and blood capillaries. Then, what is the function of arteries, veins and capillaries? Before knowing about the details of these three veins, these three blood vessels, it is very important to discuss about one example. Okay, we people are surviving in a house, you just imagine, in a house which is having water tank, and that tank have connection with different pipelines and they may end with a tap. Okay, tap. Here fresh water is just travels in one variety of pipeline. At the same time, the same house is also connected with another pipeline which may carry the waste water, the used water. Here we people are using fresh water for different purposes, for cleaning utensils, washing, bathing, for different purposes we people are using water. Fresh water, is it right? After that, that fresh water becomes into waste water. Is it right? Yes. Then that waste water may travel by the help of another pipeline. In the same manner, in our body also we have two varieties of pipelines. Here pipelines or blood vessels. Here blood vessel is nothing but a pipe-like structure. If we talk about arteries or the pipe-like structures, they just the arteries or the blood vessels which carry blood from heart to various parts of our body, like my brain, like my hands, legs, like that. Different parts of our body is getting blood by the help of the heart. Here the heart is pumping the blood to different organs of our body by the help of a blood vessel called as arteries. Okay, arteries. Then here you people able to understand, arteries able to carry the fresh blood. What is meant by fresh blood or pure blood? The blood which is containing more amount of oxygen is called as pure blood or oxygenated blood. See here children, then veins. Just you people compare these arteries with a fresh water pipeline. Here in case of passing fresh water, the fresh blood or pure blood is passing in arteries. Then what about veins? Opposite of arteries. Here the veins are also the blood vessels which collect the blood from different parts of our body, and they just take that blood and put it into the heart or pour it into the heart. Here whenever the blood reaches different parts of our body, inside you people just remember about different organs of our body. How the organs are made up of? They just made up of different varieties of tissue, and these tissues may be formed by combining different varieties of cells. Okay, and each and every cell able to perform different functions. Whenever the fresh blood enters into an organ or a cell, then that fresh blood contains oxygen. That oxygen will be taken by the cell and it releases by following different metabolic processes. It just releases a waste product called as carbon dioxide. Like that, different organs, they contain some waste materials, and the cell or the organ is just putting that waste materials into the blood, and that waste blood or deoxygenated blood, the blood which is not containing oxygen and which may reach of carbon dioxide, is called as a deoxygenated blood or impure blood. That impure blood travels by the help of these veins and finally they reach the heart. Okay, what about capillaries? Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels. These are the very smallest blood vessels, and they have only single cell thick walls. Why they have single cell thick walls? Because their function is to involve in exchange process, exchange of gases, exchange of materials. It just involve in exchanging site. It just act as a exchanging site. That's why they have single cell thick walls. Wherever you find the capillaries, their exchange of something will happen. Inside your small intestine, we have villi. Inside the villi also we have capillaries. And inside the lungs, we have capillaries. Where we have capillaries inside our body, at that region, the exchange may take place. Either it may be gaseous exchange or other variety of exchange may takes place. Okay, see here children, it is by listening this, I think you are able to understand. Here arteries are the veins which carry oxygenated blood, and veins are the blood vessels which carry deoxygenated blood from organs to the heart. What about capillaries? They just act like exchange site. It is very important to know about arteries, veins and capillaries. What are the major differences? Now we are going to discuss, and it is very important question in your final examinations. See here children, the first one, blood flow. What is the first difference? Blood flow. How the blood is flowing inside the arteries, veins and capillaries. See here children, rapidly with jerks. How the heart is pumping blood in the form of jerk. It is not sending in a slow manner. It just sending the blood in the form of a jerk. Not continuously. In the form of a jerk, it is sending the blood in arteries. What about veins? Smoothly without any jerks. Inside the veins, there is no jerks because it is taking blood from organs. But the arteries, they just carrying the blood from heart. That's why here we find the rapid jerks. But here there is no jerks. In the same manner, in capillaries also there is no jerks. See here children, lumen. If you see here, the lumen, if you imagine this is the lumen. Here, the lumen is very narrow as it is to send blood to different parts of the body. The lumen of artery, so very narrow. If we talk about the veins, the lumen is very wide. Okay, wide. They have very wide lumen. If we talk about capillaries also have very small lumen. See here children, what about valves? Valves, you heard the word valves. They just looks like a flap-like structure. If you see here, they just present in the veins, not in the arteries or not in the capillaries. In the arteries, the valves are absent. In the capillaries, the valves are absent. But in veins, the valves are present. Why? Because in the veins, what is the function of veins? They just carrying the blood from different parts of our body. Why they are carrying? For example, if they are carrying blood from the legs, the blood has to move towards upwards, okay, towards the heart. During that time, there is a chance for backflow of the blood. To stop that, here the blood has to move only in one direction. If the blood tries to come in opposite direction, then the valves, they just close and stop the backflow of the blood. Okay, that's why only the veins contain valves. See here, if we talk about the location of arteries, they are present, they are deeply seated. They are not present on our superficial, on our surface. They just present in our body, deeply seated, okay, somewhat deeper. If we talk about veins, mostly superficial, they just present superficial, okay, upper side of our body, not deeply seated. If we talk about capillaries, they form a network. The capillaries form a network all over the body. As they have to connect each and every part of our body, they just form a network. And in the organs, not only throughout the body, inside the organs also, they just form a network. Okay, if we talk about direction of blood flow, how the blood is flowing. The blood flows in the arteries away from the heart. Okay, the blood is moving in the arteries away from the heart, upward, downward. As they have to supply the blood to different parts of our body, the heart is sending blood by the help of arteries. That's why blood always flows away from the heart to different parts of the body. Veins towards the heart. What is the function of veins? To collect the blood from different organs. Finally, they pour that deoxygenated blood into the heart. That's why the direction of blood flow is towards the heart. What about capillaries? Carry blood from arterioles. These are also branches of arteries and venules. These are the branches of veins. Okay, blood changes from oxygenated to deoxygenated. Here, the blood is changing from oxygenated to deoxygenated. Okay, inside the capillaries, as I already told to you, what I told, the capillaries, these are the exchange site. That's why oxygen will be taken by the cells and carbon dioxide again mixed into the blood in this region. Okay, see here children, next one, kind of blood. What kind of blood is passing in the arteries? As we all know, in the arteries, oxygenated blood is present. Arteries, oxygenated blood. We need to remember, the arteries always contains oxygenated blood. But here, there is one exception. What is that? Oxygenated blood is present except pulmonary artery. Only pulmonary artery is the artery which carry deoxygenated blood from heart to the lungs. Remaining all arteries carry oxygen-rich blood, pure blood, except pulmonary artery. Here you may get one question. Which artery able to carry deoxygenated blood? That is pulmonary artery. And if we talk about veins, veins always carry deoxygenated blood. Veins always carry deoxygenated blood. As like arteries, here also one exception is there. All veins, they just carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary veins. These pulmonary veins, only the veins which carry oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart. Okay, these exceptions you need to remember well. Okay, name the veins which carry oxygen-rich blood or oxygenated blood or pure blood. Then you need to remember the pulmonary veins carry oxygen-rich blood. Remaining all veins carry deoxygenated blood. Then see here children, what is the function of capillaries? The capillaries, what they are doing? They just converting oxygenated blood into deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood into deoxygenated blood. Then see here children, blood pressure. What is blood pressure? While the heart is starting contraction, during that time, the blood enters into the arteries and they may create a pressure on the walls of the arteries, and that pressure is called as blood pressure. See here children, the blood pressure in the arteries is very high. As the blood pressure is very high in the arteries, they just seated deeply inside our body. If they present superficial of our body, if we fell down, sometimes we may get injuries. If the arteries are present on superficial side, not in the deeper, then what will happen? Because of the small injury also the artery may cut and the blood may come like a fountain. Okay, like a fountain. And it leads to the death of the person, and immediately we get a chance to meet the God. That's why the God created the arteries, and He make the arteries to sit deep into our body, not on superficial. Okay. Then see here children, blood pressure is very high in the arteries, and in the veins it is low, and in the capillaries it is very low. Why? Here the blood need to spend more time for exchanging of gases and exchanging of different materials. That's why the pressure is very low. Here low. Okay, this is about the major differences between arteries, veins and capillaries. I think you understand well.